Have you ever just had one of those days that you think to yourself, how is it possible to be blessed like I am? I mean, look at this. Just look at it. It's so beautiful. My life ever since I learned how to flow. Oh, goodness. I'm not bragging or nothing, but I mean, come on. Really? How beautiful is that? The thing is, when you finally let go and let it flow, and you add a little bit of play in there too, because play is like a childlike state. And a childlike state is one of abundance. Everything is given to the child. Think about it. Food, nurturing, shelter. Didn't have to work for nothing, could even shit their pants. And everybody'd be happy, except for the person changing it, of course. It's one of the reasons I never had children. I gagged just picking up the dog poo. Ugh. I'm like, barfing on me, and the whole pooping thing and wiping it off your butt multiple times a day? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Really? Is that something that I really want to do for like a while? Or at all? No! I don't even want somebody wiping my own ass if I get too old to do it. I'd be like, just put me in the shower and grab me the handle. I'll take care of it. Turn around, don't look while I'm doing it, because, you know, I'm going to be putting it somewhere the sun don't shine. Thing is, my bank account has never been as fat, and I mean F-A-T / P-H-T in my life. I mean, look at this. Look at this, you guys. Wow. I got nobody behind me, nobody in front of me, and I have a wonderful view. And if I could show it to you rather than have you look at me, trust me, I would. I need to get me one of those tall things that shoots out the window, or those cams, I don't know. You know, that's the one thing I wish that I was gifted with. This is what really, really tends my hide. And you know what? Y'all can kiss it. You can think whatever you want to. You can think, nah, that can't be true. Nah, that can't be true. But what if it is? Whoop, there we go. Look at that. Look at these trees. Wow. Look at what God gives us every day to lift our vibration. Oh, don't worry, I'm only going like 30 miles an hour. It's actually the speed limit, 35, but there's nobody behind me, and I'm just enjoying the view and having a conversation with you. You know, I should have been a rapper, actor. I was always too scared to go on stage, right? I love the attention. I love being able to give information that actually nobody on the planet can give you except for me. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm giving you fact. You can ask people that actually know me. I don't talk no bullshit. I give it to you straight and honest. Every single time. Whether you choose to believe me or not is up to you. Will I be affected by you not believing me? Absolutely not. You know why? Because I've mastered my energy. I was, past tense, Nikola Tesla in my last, well, not my last life, but my last past life. We'll just say that. It's easier for people to understand it in small little bites than throw it in your face. And, you know, I've had to learn that, because the more I just give it to you the truth, the more people are offended. And I'm like, I'm not offending anybody just because I was gay. I was totally gay in my last past, well, not last, but my last life. This is kind of how this works. What you do is you merge into traffic with your turn signal on prior, so people know you're coming. That's the courteous thing to do. And then turn it off. There should be a book on morals and etiquette, which is one of the things I am going to write. That'll be one of the books that I'm going to write. Morals and etiquette and value. Because that's what we need in this country. If people have the morals and ethics and values in this lifetime, look both ways after you stop, and then you can go. Turn on your turn signal right before you want to get over. And yes, I would have looked both ways, but I was going 5 miles an hour and there was nobody behind me and nobody beside me, because I have really good vision. But if you're not autistic, Asperger's, and all that things that people like to label, you're not as attentive as I am. I've already seen what's going on 5 seconds before it's happened. That's just who I am. I see everything. Even though it don't look like I'm paying attention, I'm always paying attention to everything. And a whole 360 around me nonstop, controlling my energy for each situation that I am. People can say whatever they want about me being Tesla. I went through Spirit called it. It was just really weird. Like, I'm sitting there meditating one night, and all of a sudden, because Spirit talks through me, through my how I've learned to channel and how I do it, how I've learned to do it is Spirit. I even had to feel the energy coming up to open my mouth, and then I got a download in what to say as it came out. So I just learned to just let it flow. If you really look at the whole thing, I have the credentials. I went through an energetic, Spirit called it a spiritual stigmata. I was just sitting there meditating, and all of a sudden, Spirit comes through me and says, you just completed your spiritual stigmata. And I'm like, what? And of course, what do? I go right to Google. Spiritual stigmata. Nothing on it. Of course, if you go to Stigmata, you're like, holy, the wounds of Christ, the blood, people getting the Stigmata, they get the wounds of Christ, the tears of blood and the blood around here for the thorns and the whiplashes and all that stuff. Anyway, most of them, the movie Stigmata went a little overboard, but that's actually the purpose of the Stigmata, is the first wounds, the second wounds, the third wounds. Going back into my story, in 2018, when I had a spontaneous stigmatic awakening while driving this very truck from Idaho to Texas with a 6-horse trailer loaded with just my stuff in it, and my niece in passenger side witnessed the whole thing. I had a spiritual stigmatic awakening. And at the end of the awakening, I was still in a lucid state, and I heard in my head say my name. And the first thing that popped into my head was Jesus. And the first thing I felt was no. I was baptized Christian as a child, turned atheist throughout my life, because why would God put me through what I've been through in my entire life? I've been suicidal since the time I was 16, and tried many times, and then thought about it as I was older. Clear up until I was about 49, I've had suicidal thoughts. It started after being molested when I was young. I was the most energetic, open, wide open child anybody ever seen. I was independent. You can ask my mother. I walked 5 miles from a hillside down into Madras, Oregon in my diapers, I think as a 2-year-old, and the cops picked me up and called my mom. Your child's running around. I just go wherever Spirit told me to go. I'm just following my intuition, and she never did put a leash on me, but she probably should have. You can ask her. I was the most independent child. At 3 years old, I walked 3 miles down to an old haunted house and was going through it when my mom found me. And the house, unfortunately, had a big old willow tree. Yeah, you know what a willow tree, if you don't, look it up. They have these long, thin branches. And when you break one of those off, and you know how to whip a child, you put the child in front of you and you whip her all the way home if she can touch the end of that willow twitch. 3 years old. They finally just give me a pony and told me when I learned to ride, they'd buy me a saddle. After a few bloody lips and broke, all that good stuff, they finally bought me a saddle, and away I go. I'd be gone. Before they would wake up, I go out, make me a sandwich, put it into my saddlebags that were actually, and I still have them today, were actually U.S. Cavalry. It says U.S. It's got the thing for the post. That's what I used as saddlebags. I don't know, I thought it was my dad's, so I don't know how I got it, but that's what I would use. I didn't know anything about it. I still have them today. And I would pack that full of my goodies, go grab my horse, saddle it up, and I'd be gone before day out. I don't know how I came back each time, because I was bordered the wilderness. It was open for ever. But I always came home. Sometimes at dark, my mom with a flashlight, trying not to be mad at me, and I had the time of my life. I would go everywhere, somewhere new, exploring everything. I was always looking for the lost treasure. I was always looking. I remember as a child seeing the rainbow go down into a certain spot. I went over there and dug and dug and dug and dug, and I didn't find nothing. I was like, I thought there was supposed to be gold here. Damn those leprechauns. Cancel, clear, delete. I'm gonna take that back. You say something energetically is gonna hurt you in the end, and you catch it fast, all you gotta do is say cancel, clear, delete. Done. Then you switch timelines, which means you change the words that are coming out to a higher vibration, you've switched timelines, right? So you've raised your vibration, so you're not going down the low vibration road, because whatever you give out, you get back by the law of attraction. Whatever you resonate with, you get back in your reality. You see, I'm an energetic stigmatic. I mastered energy in the physical as Tesla. Then I wasn't quite ready to be born because people weren't going to be ready for me quite yet. So what I did is I came back right after I died as a girl, and I had a past life with my neighbor Eddie I met in Texas. Seeing the whole past life, we had actually a vision together while meditating, seeing us as teenagers in high school. We died at 16 in a car crash together, and so I died, and then I was born in 73. Now you can also look at the numbers. South Node, I was a Cancer, which means I was a Cancer in my last life, right? And so unless you ascend, there you go. So I chose a short, so how it goes is you have one life where you can become a master, and then the next life is not quite so fun, because you got karma you got to deal with because you didn't become a master in that life. So if I told you a few of my other past lives, you probably wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's not irrelevant. The other one that is irrelevant is Nefertiti. I was Nefertiti. The thing about the energetic stigmata is it has nothing to do with the winds of Christ. When I heard that vision, I was sitting there staring at the clouds, because I just had a vision in the clouds of this big war and the chariots and this guy grabbing his head, and it was almost like a David and Goliath thing I seen in the clouds as a vision. And it was right after that I heard in my head, say my name. And I kept hearing, my first thought was Jesus, and I wouldn't do it. Say my name. I heard it 4 times in my head, in my own voice, in my own head, like I was thinking it, you know. And I almost started crying, and I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it. Because I believed in my being that there was something more. And I was so steadfast in my faith that I went above a stigmata to an energetic, spiritual stigmata, because I worshipped something higher than Jesus. I worshipped God, but I wouldn't say God. I just knew there was something more, because God represented now as a man that is a tyrant man that only lets you in if you obey. Obey, 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 obey. It's a constant in your face, obey, obey, obey. Tell you what, I'm just going to turn this off. How's that? You might be able to hear me just a little bit better. This was in August of 2018. Going down to Texas, I had a spontaneous spiritual awakening. I went into a trance vision while driving my truck next to my niece for 45 minutes. I have witnesses. On the way back, I had a spontaneous stigmatic awakening. When I was driving my truck, I had my arm on the armrest, and she's sitting next to me, and all of a sudden I felt something unravel really quick and shoot up to my elbow, and I went, "Oof," like that. And she looked at me and she goes, "What?" And I'm like, "Ow!" She goes, "What?" And I'm like, "It's like something bit me, but there's nothing there." And what I got in my head was like this cobra just bit me in the back of the neck. No clue what this is about. I was just a horse trainer. I've been a horse trainer and competitor my whole life. That's all I knew. I didn't know nothing about energy. I didn't even know I was empathic. I didn't know nothing about it. Nothing. Blind to it all. All of a sudden, boom, spiritual awakening, boom, stigmatic awakening. And then on 11/11 at 11 p.m. or 11:11 p.m., I laid down to meditate with frequencies in my ears, stones on my chakras, and a grid, and I laid down in bed, and all of a sudden my body went into these sporadic seizure-like things, real herky-jerky kind of stuff, you know? And I knew nothing about it. All I knew is it didn't hurt me. I felt that it was more like muscle spasms, but I was more curious than anything. I was like, wow, this is the most amazing thing that ever happened to me, and my body's doing some weird stuff. And then all of a sudden my arms started kind of hurting, and I kind of opened my eyes and looked. My arms were, my elbows were on the bed, and then my wrists were above the bed, and my hands were kind of contorted, and my muscles were like thin, like it was sucked I was in a completely relaxed state. Like I felt nothing. I felt like I was just laying in bed, just like, ah. And then you looked at my body, and it's tense, so tense that you can't even tense it that much if you try it. There's absolutely no way. And it will hold that for so long. And it's so tight. There's no way possible for the blood to keep flowing in that area. It never shut the blood down. The chi kept flowing. And I never had cramps or pain the day after. It was the oddest thing. And so this went on for almost 5.5 hours. I even stopped it once to go to the bathroom, then laid back down and said, okay, can you proceed? Relaxed, and boom, it came back and finished up. It was amazing. So the next morning I got up and I got on search engine and looked up spontaneous movements while meditating. And I got Kundalini, and I was like, read about it, and I'm like, wow, that's what I experienced, but on an intense level. So I was like on Facebook, like, wow, this is so anybody else? Oh my heck. I got from my best friends up in Idaho, the ones that call me their best friends, were calling me the devil worshiper. She's worshiping the devil, she's awakened the devil, this is the devil, the devil, the devil. I'm like, no. At the end, I do remember at the end, you know, I had told you I had my, like, palms up. I felt like this, it felt like a thumb rubbing around my palm. So my whole palm was like vibrating, but it felt like somebody was rubbing both palms, like, and I got this thing in my head that this is a good thing. Just relax and have fun. This is a good thing. I kept hearing that in my head, and I was like, it's not hurting. This is the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. I wonder what's going to happen next. And then, so I experienced a Kundalini awakening, but I guess not a normal Kundalini awakening. Mine was a stigmatic Kundalini awakening, which is like the highest version of a Kundalini awakening that you could possibly get. So my story will not resonate with everybody because mine was extraordinary because of who I am energetically. Not only do I have personal information on Tesla, which he was gay, right? I mean, you can't find that information anywhere. I didn't see everything he did. Through my stigmata, it was cleansing all my karma. So I had to see the major past lives that cost me the most karma. And the one where Eddie and I, as a teenage loves, got killed in a car accident. That was karmic. And then also my past life before that was Tesla. And that was karmic because I never could bring out what I wanted to bring out because I feared being killed for it because the information that I held. Now I do remember before I downloaded the Tesla life and had that experience, I was like that. I was hiding my notebooks. I thought about burying these notebooks of the information that I was downloading during this energetic stigmata because I was getting ancient secret knowledge that nobody on this planet can get. I started, preaching about it 5 years ago. Go back and look at my Facebook for the last 5 years. I've been talking about it the second I woke up. I went from atheist to all about God and all about the real Jesus. Not the Jesus that they tell you, the Catholic Church and everybody else's version of Jesus. I'm going to tell you the real Jesus. And that was a karmic death also. Nefertiti, I can tell you exactly how she died, and you'll never find her. And why Tesla was gay. It's all connected. I can give you the personal, and I mean the personal, details that nobody else can give you. I didn't see the amazing life I had. I had to see the pain, and I had to see the suffering. I was put back in a stigmatic trance state and locked into mudras, and as soon as I hit that mudra, if at that point of death, I would appear at that moment, and I seen everything. I was me being killed, and I was me above, seeing the whole picture at the same time. You think my stigmata was fun? You think my life's been easy the last 5 years? You guys thought you had it bad? I just had a divorce over 22 years. Felt I lost the love of my life. To having a spiritual awakening. And I've loved horses my whole life, and I didn't want anything to do with them after that second. My whole life was taken away from me. And then all of a sudden, I had this energetic Kundalini awakening that awakened me to energy. And so I would get every stone, buy everything that I could possibly do, crystal grids, anything you could possibly do to raise my vibration and expand my energy on not a daily basis, but a minute by minute basis, sometimes 8 to 22 hours a day. The day that I downloaded Tesla was 11/11 of 2020. Do the math. Look at my birth chart. I'm a Leo, born August 1st. My South Node is my last past life. Well, obviously by killing myself as a 16-year-old girl, no go, still a Cancer. Nikola Tesla, born July 10th, 10, Cancer. I was born August 1st, 8/1, 7/10, 8/1. Do the math. I'm a life path 11. Actually, if you want to really do the math, I'm an 11/11. I am my whole, because I have been through the energetic stigmatic. There is not one person on this planet yet that has gone through a spiritual stigmata in this generation and in a while. I mastered energy as Tesla on the physical. And I have mastered energy in the etherical as Nicole. Nikola, Nicole. And if you want to connect it to Nefertiti, Nefertiti, Nikola, Nicole. I have the ancient sun mudras that Nefertiti did in her time to make her so abundant. I am the only one that has the secret to the abundance that you desire. I have attained it. I am more abundant in my life than I have ever been in my entire existence. In a long time. Because through my stigmata, I have seen my death. Clear back to my first arrival here on this planet as a Venusian, here to change the world. And my first sin was guilt. I was a royal Venusian teaching the way. And I've been here teaching the way since. Living on this planet is like a sticky paper. Once you step in it, it's kind of stuck to you. And there's nothing that can get it off except healing. I have the only method on this planet at the moment to break all karma in your whole existence to your first. I have the physical method of releasing all karma because it is related to scar tissue. I know this because I would be in meditation, letting spirit move my body however it wanted to, and when it was like it was a winding of a clock. Like what it was is I was following the neural pathway of a nerve. My body would do this and weird, never do the same thing twice. I was amazed all the time. But at the end, it would do a stretch and a pop. And I'm telling you what, that first pop I felt in the back of my right ear, and then the little lump tumor that I had in my left breast popped at the same time and jumped. That was a karmic tie between the breast cancer and right here. And what happened is I was in a horse accident and got drug, and that horse, not on purpose, but nicked me on the side of the head. I remember seeing light a couple times, and then I got off. I got free. Thank you, Spirit, again. I've had spirits always watching over me, and I've had so many close calls with the horses you can't even imagine. I had one kick a hat off my head, and I felt it, but it didn't touch me. Nefertiti was killed in a way on a granite slab with her hands tied behind her back at first. And they had the royal breeding pair of cobras. And they had a man come over holding the male cobra and was standing on the feminine energetic side of me. Then another man, or another woman, no, it was a man, pardon me. The man grabbed the female cobra and went over to the masculine side of me. They had me face down. What they did is they started right at the back of my occipital bone, which is perfect for the third eye. And what they did is they took the snakes, had them look at each other, and bite me at the occipital bone. Boom. And then, of course, they hit that spinal cord. So that paralyzed me. And as the snakes were looking at each other, they were pissed off because they were being forced to bite, and all that poison was more venomous for what they were doing. They did this because they were crisscrossing the masculine and the feminine energies. Every time after that, I would come back. I would come back. If I was a man, I was more feminine, and if I was a woman, I was more masculine. It has been because of the energetic curses that were done during this death of Nefertiti. I'm going to give you information nobody has, because this is what I seen and felt. Then they went to the back of my neck where a man's Adam's apple would be, and did it again. And then they chanted and stuff, and to bring that poison right here, and they all focused right here. So that way when I spoke to anybody in my next lives, when I spoke, I was speaking venom to people's ears. People could want to hear it. No matter how truthful I was, nobody would believe me. Then they went to the back of the neck. That's where I felt the bite, right? When I was driving, that was that one. That was my throat chakra. Boom, closing it down. Went to my heart chakra, closing it down. Went to my sacral, closing it down. Went to my solar plexus. It was solar plexus, which is right above your navel, and then went down to the sacral chakra, and then the coccyx, which is the root chakra, and they locked me down. Now, because I have not healed from that karma since this lifetime, I was a horse trainer and competitor, and I've had, things happen to me since I was a baby. So in 2017, I have x-rays to prove this. I went to the hospital in so much pain. They gave me steroid shots. Nothing worked. They said the only way we're going to help you is if you have back and neck surgery and you got scoliosis. I said, thank you. I laid down on the floor after a day's work. I couldn't get up. I couldn't even roll up. I had to have help. The last CAT scan I had last year actually proved, oh, and I had 2 bone spurs. Proved there was no bone spurs and all the fusions were gone. Every time I would be into a, I call it stigmatic trance movement, whatever, and just allow my body to go where it needs to go, it would wind up breaking either a major karmic scar tissue or a fusion. The fusions were big ones. The first big fusion that I broke, I had the vision of Nefertiti on the slab and how she was killed. They were the ancient Egyptian priests doing, and they understood that once you died, you have 3 days to energetically do whatever you want to the body to prepare it for its leaving. And what they did is torture, and do all these curses on me, even after, because I was dead after they did the throat chakra. I mean, it's the second one, I was dead. So then they spent 3 days doing curses and things to my body. And then at the end, they cut me in half, cut me and quartered me, and then they took me as far as they could in each direction, opposite direction, and made sure the feminine went to the masculine side, the masculine went to the feminine side. They put everything into that to keep me from coming together as a whole any lifetime after. They did everything in their power as the ancient Egyptian priests because they knew that I would be back this lifetime. And they knew that I would be prime and the right energy to take care of business. And that's what I'm here to do. Now, energetically, if you want to go deeper, I'm a spiritual walk-in. I'm walking into a body, an energy, a DNA lineage type of body that's been reincarnated over and over and over and over and over and over and over into different bodies and different things to have different experiences to get me here right now. So energetically, when you go in as a walk-in, you don't know. All you know is it's like that, and I mean like that. You can go on my Facebook. One day I was an atheist, the next second I was like God and energy, and everybody's like, the devil, the devil, the devil. And I'm like, no, this is amazing. It's amazing. You got to understand. And the more I tried, the more I lost everybody. They all give me the finger and kick dirt on me and throw stones at me and all this stuff that, you know, has been going on in my past lives, you know. So I've had to learn to let it all go. Now, going through the stigmata, when Spirit came through and told me that I just finished my spiritual stigmata, I knew that all the karma back, because the last one I did in my Venetian life, my first life, I have in detail, and I don't know if I want to release that to the public. It was so graphic, because I don't think people can handle what I had to go through for 4 hours, around 1 a.m. I'd be pulled into stigmatic trance poses and see visions for hours sometimes. I write books on what I had seen. And I didn't see all the great stuff I did. I seen the pain that I went through to get me through so I could clear the pain. People can say they're Tesla. What they're doing is they're connecting energetically to me. I'm an ascended master, and I've been here many times, doing this over and over and over, bringing new souls with me. Now, DNA, body-wise, and what I was holding at the time to clear, I was not me, but the original Nicole was not capable of clearing that in the condition that she was in because she was suicidal. So at that time, I walked in as an energetic, I'm a high vibration being. Anyway. And this is my first time to this planet. Energetically. And I've stepped into a body that has been in so much pain for having knowledge. These ancient Egyptian priests became the Catholic Church that wrote a book to make you worship them, to worship Jesus, to think that you might be good enough to go to God. God is a ball of energy that has no judge. It's like a computer. The computer doesn't care. It just absorbs energy and experiences. God isn't this, but that it's a ball of love, yes, and it feels so wonderful to be there, and like you don't ever want to leave because it's so perfect, because it's just pure, no judgment. Like little children running around naked, just being them and not caring if they're black or white or brown or anything. That's the state of God. That's the state that I am bringing to this planet, and it's called Taozing. Taozing. Tao is flow. Tao is flow. Zing is a high vibration. I'm an energetic stigmatic. You go in there and Google stigmata, you're going to get a low version, low vibration stigmata, because they're worshiping Jesus to think they need to get to God. God is just energy of no judgment. I'm going to teach you how to do that. And you have to let go of everything that you have about everything, because everything is a mirror of you, teaching you what you need to learn. And I'm going to teach you how to see the signs, the synchronicities to live the life that I'm living now. I cry every day in appreciation for what I have, because Spirit has gotten me through. My connection to Spirit is extremely clean, going through a stigmata. I don't know, I've never heard of what I have gone through with anybody else, so as far as I am aware of, I am the only spiritual stigmatic on this planet. I have a clean, pure connection to God's source energy. You can look up my birth charts. I had it done by the best you can find. I have the finger of God pointing straight up to the oracle. I am the oracle. I am the prophet. Are you listening? Because this is judgment time. Think about it in your heart. It's time for the feminine energy to stand up. Here I am. I'm leading you into a better state, higher vibration, heaven on earth. When we switch vibrations and the old melts away and the new, it doesn't appear automatically. What it does is everybody gets downloads of higher vibrational ideas to raise the vibration of the planet, and those other things just go away. We don't have to fight the Catholic Church, because they are powerful and they have hands in everything. They're like the puppet master, and we're all the puppets, even the governments and everything. The whole world is their puppet. We come in from the underneath and explode, and they just disappear, because we don't need them anymore. Cancel, clear, delete. We do not abbreviate words anymore either. When you take don't and take two words, make it into one and put a hyphen, energetically speaking, this is what I'm here to teach you. Energetically speaking, you're taking the power out of the two words and then separating them, making it harder to attain. This is what I'm here to teach you, is how to speak. Because I do not is way more powerful, isn't it? And I'm here to teach you how to step into power. Because if I can do it. Stage 4 terminal, you have less than a year to live. You started with breast cancer, lymph, bone all over, and liver. I'm telling you here, I've been over a year. And I have put the last year and a half into scar tissue release, given it every day, hours at a time, to get rid of all the scar tissue in my body, because I knew that that was the key. And I was 100 billion% correct. By releasing the scar tissue, when you get bounced around, accidents or whatever, attaches to organs, your brain, everything in your body, and it pulls it tighter and tighter as we age, pulling everything off kilter. When things go off kilter, things don't work properly. There you come, your dis/ease. Don't take care of it, put a pill on it, they say. How about I teach you the method to get rid of that? Plus, I have information that we're being genetically modified and how to get rid of that. And I have the perfect idea to clear all the everything out of the air instantly with just one vibration. I've downloaded all my lives. It is within me to bring whatever out. I was only given the pain that I had to go through. I had to let go of that pain to be able to let go of it. So I never understood why I was suicidal. Even when I had my marriage and was traveling the country, winning national championships and third in the world and barrel futurities after another, and boom, 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 I was never happy. I was always sad inside. It's because of my past that I did not know about. It was about the cords attached to my body, because every time I look at somebody, I attach an energetic cord that's used for telepathy. How to cut that cord so they're not siphoning energy out of you. You know, you could have millions of cords attached to you, especially if you're famous. Billions of cords. And if you don't know how to clear your energy on a second by second, sometimes, you're not going to make it. If you don't know how to protect yourself energetically, you're not going to make it. You're going to go with the three-dimensional earth. I'm helping you rise to the fourth dimensional earth so you can reach your higher self in the fifth dimension. That is my life path. And it's time people know. Because now is Judgment Day. Now is judgment. What are you going to believe? You going to believe what they tell you? Or are you going to go within and take this information and say, how does this sit with me? And then I want you to openly think about it. Take your time. Because the second that you make the decision is your judgment. You can take as much time making your decision on this as you want. But the second you make your decision, that's your judgment, because that raises you to whatever vibration that judgment is on. So choose wisely. Forgive all that has wronged you. If they come at you with a vibration that matches you, entertain them. See how they are. Don't give them everything. People can mask and lie so easy. Learn how to feel. They take the pharmaceutical, if you take a medication, numbs your spiritual energy. So they keep you numb, numb, numb. The chemicals they do from the air keeps you numb. The fluoride and everything from the water, the toothpaste to the mouthwash and all that kind of stuff keeps you dumb, because it calcifies your pineal gland, which is your third eye. Never have the thermometer to your head, it closes your third eye. Never smack your forehead, because it closes your third eye. I'm going to give you lots of tools and tips on how to raise your vibration so much that you become the God of your energy. God made you a likeness of it. And if God is everything, that means you also are everything. The thing is, we live in the most amazing world that you can imagine. All you have to do is imagine the one that you would like to be in, and all crime, all negative goes away in an instant. And the more people we can put on the bandwagon to understand how energy works and how we speak like you're commanding. Because when you command the energy always abides, because your thoughts move the energy into the direction of your thoughts. And the more emotional energy, not emotional, but feeling energy. Take emotions out of it. Emotions die out. How does it feel inside? Does it feel bad or good? Notice I put those two and switched it. Because when I would have switched it the other way, good and bad, and ended on that, comma, I would start a low vibration. But I've changed it to bad and good. So I've ended my sentence with good and raised the vibration of that. I'm going to teach you that their spelling in school is teaching you all to be in a low vibration. From dragging the letter down for an L, you're lowering the vibration of that whole word, whole paragraph, whole whatever. I'm going to teach you how to write correctly to raise the vibration of everything you do. This is how we ascend. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is the only way that I can get this message out, is if you help me now. I have the information. I've healed myself. What more proof do you need? My spine, by the way, from scoliosis, a week ago was confirmed straight as a board. And I'm more flexible now than I ever have been in my whole life. And the first time in my life I've been in zero pain. I've been in pain as a child. From 2 months old, I fell on my head off the changing table. I've been in pain since then. I've known pain that people can't even imagine going through. And I'm still having a good day. For me to be in no pain puts me in a high vibration, because as we know, you cannot be in a high vibration and be in pain at the same time. It does not work. You have to get rid of the pain to raise your vibration, and I have the only method right now to free you of all the pain that only you can do yourself. Nobody else has to do it for you. In the convenience of your own home, you can do it while you're driving, do it on the toilet, do it in the shower. Simple and easy. It just takes consistency. And you can be like me. Dis-ease free. Because when you get all that and you let your body back to the way it should be, you straighten all up, get everything's nice, your body starts going back into homeostasis. Plus, you've cleared all the karmic energy, because all that has to do with past lives. Every karmic scar tissue that you have in your body is from karmic past lives. You break all that, you clear the energy. You can clear the body all you want, but if the energy is not clear, it'll always come back. Another little secret. You have to clear the energy, then you clear the physical, and it will never come back. Ever. That's the secret. And these are the things that the Illuminati do not want you to know. The ancient sun mudras that I'm going to show you through Dowsing are going to change not only the planet, but raise your vibration too every time you do it. This is why I was so defaced after I was killed, because they did not want you following the sun, the energy, the source of all life. The sun disappears, so do we. It is not the main God. There's a greater one than that. But this is our giving life. But I'm going to show you how to do it properly and how to harness that energy, become the best you that you have ever been. So stay tuned. Please like and share and get this message out. They've been trying to hold me back for far too long, and it's time. Time is now. Have a blessed day, and thank you. Thank you so much for your support.